So the POS hardware again. If you are a computer user, you have no doubts that the familiarity that you need with the most common desktop, right? And then that desktop, again, has peripherals. The keyboard, the mouse, those are called peripherals. The computer-based system are based on ordinary desktop computers and operating systems. There we have it. But they have peripherals. And that's really what makes up a POS system, peripherals. Because if you have a computer at home or desktop, you can turn that into a POS system. I have lots of posts on my LinkedIn post too, explaining a lot of these things that I'm talking about. If you're interested, you're welcome to go to that, and I'll share that with you. You can go to my LinkedIn, it's Barcode and POS, and then just hit the LinkedIn button, and then you can see a lot of those type posts, which explains and depicts or represents it in a wonderful form. Again, I say to you that this particular situation here, computer POS systems are based on standard desktop computer technology, just standard. So it's nothing new under the sun, as we know. There are, however, many manufacturers and integrators who specialize in producing computers. Specialized design, specially designed for the rigorous day-to-day retail operations by average of retail workers. So as I mentioned, we've been in this stuff for a long time. So we have the technology, we have the know-how, we have the expertise and the experience to help you, to make sure that your decision is right. You will always want to ensure that you're using a good surge protector. Those are things that we haven't actually talked about, but those are part of hardware too. A USB battery backups to prevent power-related crashes, and we're talking not only for the small entrepreneur, you need this, but the large and medium-sized guys definitely know that how important these are if power goes out. And because our cloud-based systems, we can protect your data even more so. But even during that time, you still need to protect your computer with a surge protector or a USB backup. So it's still important to have this. Then you have a display countertops, which you'll see. Those are displayed, what you pole displays is what some people call. That may be a term that you recognize. Countertop space is always precious. So we don't, where our systems, if you notice, POS systems are beginning to, they're made smaller and smaller so you can utilize the counter space for your clients or customers. So you want to minimize the footprint of your POS system. In other words, flat panel monitors are ideal for POS applications. In fact, they are vital for iPads POS systems. They use far less power, they generate far less heat, and don't rob counter of its space. Better left to product being displayed. So to further reduce footprint, you can go with all this in terms of like the machine, in terms of what I have on the right, and those are even made smaller. You do the all-in-one, which you bring all of these components together and they tie together beautifully. Again, we have some wonderful things already on YouTube that you can actually see for yourself and get an idea of how all this stuff is put together. Again, they use far less power, generate far less heat, and don't rob the counter space. And as always, they don't use as much heat. And guess what? They're easy for us to combine and assemble for you. The vendor that you have would specialize in that. Then you have your cash drawer. Cash drawer is essential, as you know, it keeps your money, but it also works perfectly with your computer. It hooks to and it locks as well as you don't need a key. The computer will open it for you. and keep it secure with password protection. Then you have the receipt printer. The receipt printer is another specialty, and also report printers that you hook right to your devices. These, again, are all called peripherals. So now you know when someone speaks terms peripheral, they're talking about the devices that goes with or can be attached to the CPU. Then the direct connect, the second type of connection directly to the computer, it's the what? The Ethernet or the internet. All of the ports and everything that goes on the computer. You can do WAN. We'll get into that. I've got some wonderful posts in terms of how that works. WAN, LAN, cloud, all of it works together. Your POS is driving it, and then it all connects. Again, we're going to go all into those areas, but I wanted to kind of cover that. And again, once again, your receipt printer, that applies to a device that prints, and they can be all kinds of printers, barcode label printers, for example. So we'll talk more about that as well. I'll do the depictions and how we're going to actually get into this. My goal here is for this to be interesting enough for you to want to say, well, wow, I didn't know this, and I'm glad somebody's telling me about it. In fact, let me take a moment as we continue our conversation pertaining to hardware. But before I actually do that, I had mentioned in one of the previous videos that we had partners, and these are just a few, as you can see at the bottom. And as you can see, we are a technology and information management company. However, again, yours truly is not a salesperson. Remember, I'm a POS professional consultant, a business consultant, and I'm here to show you the things that you need to know to have a successful business in the process of point of sale. In this particular case, we're talking about hardware. So I wanted to present that to you before we get into another facet of hardware that I really enjoy and like. So let me share this with you. We're going to focus on another peripheral that is part of this, or these apparatus pieces that you see on the screen. So as we begin this second part of hardware, we're going to be focusing in on barcode scanning. So if you would take a look, hello there. Notice the emblem or symbol on my left, your right, and you will see that it has a barcode scanner. This particular barcode scanner, let me just slide out of the way here so you could actually see it. Isn't that a beauty? But that's a barcode scanner. And I'd like to share a little bit more about it as we talk about it. So, and other peripherals that pertains to point of sale. Barcode scanners are the most efficient and accurate machine you could ever have in terms of barcode and POS. It's efficient, it's accurate, and most of all, I tell you, most of all, it's the best way to ring up a sale at your checkout station, and it's by using a barcode scanner. You scan. A lot of you seen this and never paid any attention to it. That's why all of the major retailer and retail chains use them, and why more and more of the small businesses are using them. So we begin to see that many POS software applications have barcode labeling printing capability. You can print labels right away from your inventory item database. For these POS systems that don't have this capability, you can acquire it at a lower cost, and a very low cost, because it's something that, as I mentioned earlier in one of the previous videos, it avoids and keeps you from error redundancy. Once you apply labels on all items, you can then ring them up by simply scanning them with a barcode scanner. And this saves time and reduces errors. There's different types of barcode scanners. And the two types are attached, which this particular one that you are viewing now, on my left, your right, has an attachment. It has a USB cable, and you can hook it up, and it will scan. That's an attachment. So that's what attachment implies, a cable and a USB cable to attach it to your USB port on your computer. Then you have your portables. Now, portable particular scanners, or the big, huge scanners, you may see them in warehouses, and there are many facets of scanning and barcode scanners that POS systems uses. So the portable then would be something that does not have any cables. It's wireless. We all know about Wi-Fi and what it does, and these particular scanners are Wi-Fi, which they are more expensive, of course, than your regular attached barcode scanner. So when we look at this, how do I attach them and what do they do? There are data collectors, that are the terms that are also used with apparatus machines, that attaches also a barcode scanner, which collects the data, all of the inventory, and it comes back to the station and hooks up to what we call a docking station, plugs it up, and then downloads the data of all of your inventory on the floor into your POS system. And then, of course, the wireless, as I mentioned earlier, the portable one has the wireless radio transmission. So those are the two types of barcode scanners, and I wanted to share them with you as part of Barcode POS Hardware, because we'll have specific conversations about those, but I think this would be enough information for you to use and also have questions, and then think about you as you continue your process and developing your unique POS system. So I thank you again for enjoying in this video. Again, please, at the right-hand corner in the bottom of the screen, you'll see the barcode button, barcode and POS button. Click that and then subscribe and tell us how much you like us. Notice I said like us. So therefore, also you can, if there's a one-on-one and there's more information that you're looking for, you can turn around and click on the URLs in the descriptions, and that'll give you access to a one-on-one consultant free to go into detail about any particular system that you may be interested in, and we will point you in the right direction and also consult with you to make sure you select the right vendor or the right particular hardware that you need to go with your existing system, or help you upgrade and find the best software that you would need for your system. Thank you again, and look forward to seeing you on the next video.